we'd like to do some hardcore country music, and we felt obliged to put this song on the album. It's an old-timey one. A lot of you, I'm sure, remember doing the two-step to this little song right here. La, 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 la. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Their like it's better than yours. Dang right, it's better than yours. I can teach you, but I'll have to charge. The milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. And their like it's better than yours. Darn right, it's better than yours. I can teach you, but I'll have to charge. Know you're on it. That thing that makes me what the guys go crazy for. They lose their minds away. I whine, I think it's time. La 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 la. Milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. They're like it's better than yours. Darn right, it's better than yours. I can teach you, but I'll have to charge. Milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. And they're like it's better than yours. Dang right, it's better than yours. I can teach you, but I'll have to charge. Teach the techniques that freak the boys. It can't be bought, you know. Thieves get caught. Watch if you're smart. La 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 la. A milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Their like is better than yours. Darn right, it's better than yours. I can teach you, but I'll have to charge. The milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. And their like is better than yours. Dang right, it's better than yours. I can teach you, but I'll have to charge. With a little bit of mustard and a pickle on top.
Hey, welcome in.
Hola.
That's me and Steve here to class up the book club. I like some of the comments I was seeing in chat. Penn Smith said, this song lives rent-free in my head.
I like the other one better.
You like the other one better?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe next time.
We'll do that one next time. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome to Book Club. We will be doing chapters 9 and 10 tonight. And Yep. It's been a Tuesday, and tomorrow is a Wednesday.
It has been a Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
It has been a Tuesday.
Yep. Steve's hoping the internet holds out.
Yep, because it's not cooperating real well, but it's just my room. I've upgraded.
Yeah. I'm going to welcome in everybody. I'm not sure how well Steve's going. What? Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I can't wave. It's too glitchy. Boop. Bat.
Excuses. Welcome in, Steve.
Wave my thumb. How's that?
That works.
It's a ledge right here I can hold on to. What'd you get tonight? La 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 la.
Stacy Rogers, Kenneth H, JRH 1985, Dear Debbie Burnfeld, Nicole Happy's Haunt, welcome in. Jeanette, Sebastian the Crab, hey. Theo, Sam Eagle, welcome in. Movie Mania Nick, what's up, buddy? Chris Dye, hello. Let's see, we got Zanlax, good evening. Robert Dixon, welcome in. Samantha Lowe, hey Sam. I'm still scrolling. Robert Dixon is. Penn Smith is here. As I said, hello, Penn. Good to see you. And it just tried to jump on me. Chris S, welcome in. Wendy B, good evening. Good evening. Let's see. Penn is Monreal. Molly's here. Hello, Molly. Hey, girl. Let's see. T Marie's place. Hey, Teener. She's yelling out milkshakes. 100 Acre Wood, welcome in. Main Street Nick, welcome. Good to see you. Chris S, I think I said hello, but I'll say it again. Hello, Chris S. There's Zenlax, welcome. Got Wendy B. Nathan, hello, good evening, welcome in. And I think we got everybody.
Oh, good.
Got everybody. Howdy. I can put Steve anywhere if you want, but I'm all out of AI tonight. Oh. Debbie Thuner, welcome in, Debbie. So, we're still on
forgot about this.
Our Twisted Tail book, not to be confused with Twisted Tea.
Oh, I'm glad. Never mind.
A Whole New World, Twisted Tail book, chapters 9 and 10.
Is your chapter called The Street Rats?
It is. Yes.
All right.
We left off, and Jasmine was in prison, pretty much in in her room. Her and Jeannie had a conversation, kind of getting to know each other a little bit better, in both of their predicaments. And Aladdin escaped the cave.
And Jasmine finally realized that she needs to be the hero. Actually, the last line says she had to start being the hero.
That's true. And there's Snickerdoodle. Hey, Snickerdoodle. The Daisy Duck to my Donald Duck. The Minnie to my Mickey. The Belle to my Beast. The Bernadette to my Wallowitz.
Mm-hmm. I watched that tonight.
Hey, girl. Military fans, welcome in. Good to see you too. Howdy. Yes, so she had to be and then Aladdin escaped the cave. Barely, it sounded like he was hallucinating almost at times. He got out with the magic carpet and Abu, of course, and they made it back to Agrabah.
What was the name of his boo?
Abu.
Oh. Like many found a girl down there.
What's the matter with you? Welcome in, Paul Engel. Good to see you, Simba too. Welcome, and Vicky Gillespie. Good evening, everybody. There was the very creepy parade.
The very creepy parade. Yes.
The not the Prince Ali parade, but the King Jafar parade.
Very true.
And then Aladdin decided to sneak back into the land of the street rats to try to come up with a plan, I think, maybe. Yeah. It's weird seeing colors behind him, isn't it? That's
from like 1940. There's no color over there. Oh, you can. Oh, never mind. The color goes all the way that way.
Yeah.
There's a mirror right there. Mirror. That's a lamp.
That is a lamp.
It's weird.
Does the bed have one of those machines you can drop coins in to make it vibrate?
I so wish it did, but it does not. I'd be like, just sitting there, you know.
Does
not
that
have
a courtyard? Looks like something from a courtyard.
I have no idea what it is, to be honest with you. I don't think so. It's a Marriott. It's not a Courtyard by Marriott. It's a town suite.
Town suite.
Can't remember. But I will say this. So I've stayed here a lot, though, and it's usually pretty decent. But the one bad thing about it's always the bathroom. And the shower when you walk in is really, really long, and there's no door on it. It's a piece of glass halfway across. So you go in, you walk straight into the shower, and you got to turn to the left to go down there. And then the water pressure is so terrible. And because the air is just swirling, there's nothing to block the air. You feel really cold. So you're just like up underneath the little shower, trying to get a shower in, but stay warm. And I finally got it here today, and this one has a normal tub with a curtain and everything. I was like, yeah, but the water pressure still feels like a dog peeing on you. So,
Right guy, welcome in, buddy. Tim Rimple, hello. Good to see you.
hola. And it's cold in Michigan,
It's cold
Tim.
here.
No, it is in the 40s. It's 46 right now.
Oh, is it?
And yeah, that's half of what I'm used to.
That's true.
So yeah, and one of the guys that came from Florida didn't bring his jacket with him today. So for this trip. So
It's
I like to paint a
53
visual
here.
when it's what?
It's 53 here.
Yeah, so it's colder. It's another 7 degrees colder here.
This is interesting, Steve. On my 10-day forecast,
Yeah.
the highest temperature we're supposed to reach in 10 days is 71.
That's nice. So for the first time, I flew down here yesterday and today, and I fly back tomorrow. These are the coldest days in the year so far.
Nice.
Up in Florida, it's 72 days, 72 to 75. So perfect weather. And then when I go back, it's mid 80s again. So
I was about to say that.
but it's not 46 freaking degrees. I'll tell you that. I'm happy about that. At least it's not like ice on the windows. The low is supposed to be tonight.
You missed a lot last night, Steve. I
was so tired.
I glued the back of a puzzle.
Ooh, it's supposed to be 42 tonight.
I did the Wally and Eve briquettes, which are up there now.
Yep, those are cool builds.
And I started another puzzle.
What'd you start?
That Seco box of movie poster puzzles.
Yep.
I started the inside out one.
Nice. I like those. Those are really cool pick. Do you get, what is it? Like a 300 to 300, a 500 to 5, and a 750?
Yep.
Really cool ones. I like those.
Anyway. Nothing is quite as zen as even strokes on the back of a puzzle with glue. That's true.
Even.
Nice, smooth. Windy B says Florida done thinned Steve's blood out.
What? Yeah, my blood's thinned out.
Yeah.
It's like oil up here.
So. All right, I reckon we'll get started.
If I lose connection, hang in there. I'll be back. Because not only am I reading from my phone, but I'm also powering the internet off my phone. So,
Vicky Gillespie says it's 52 right now in Indiana. Zenlak says it's 61 in Clearwater. Wow.
see, nice cool night, perfect weather.
Yeah.
Not cold. It's cold here. So.
All right. Chapter 9, titled "The Street Rats." And
Real quick, what'd you say I missed last night, by the way?
Oh, I did the Wally and Eve briquette.
Oh, okay, that's right. And a puzzle and glue. Got it. Okay.
47 in Dayton, Ohio.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. So
Debbie Thunert says 63 in Texas.
You guys
Tim says it's 65 in clear blue spring sky.
That's in Australia.
That is. True.
It's cold and no Disney. Yes, Tim. That is an accurate statement.
Funny.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, here we go. The carpet flew down an empty street. Aladdin stood tall and barely needed to move his arms to balance, even when they took corners fast. Once again, he wished he had time to really see what it could do, but more pressing things awaited in the quarter of the street rats. If the section of it that Jasmine had seen was frightening, well, Aladdin pressed on through neighborhoods that were downright dangerous. Tall old buildings toppled toward each other and blocked out the sky overhead. At midday, the streets were in shadow, which was a relief from the sun, but left everything in a strange, hot twilight. There were a lot of places to hide. Black windows on vacant houses looked like empty eye sockets. Grim, broken statuary and crumbling piles of bricks made it seem like an ancient war zone. The only open space was one of the few graveyards inside the city walls. Its creepy, spiky stones stood like snaggle teeth pointing in all directions. The whole place was flooded with loneliness and desperation, and yet at the same time there was a constant feeling of being watched by someone or something unseen. The only people visible had shifty eyes and a palpable sense of roguery about them. Wow, that's a sentence. I like that. Aladdin jumped off the carpet in front of an abandoned building that looked like all the others. Growing outside, growing out used to the wait, growing used to their routine, the carpet helpfully rolled himself up and slung itself over his shoulder. It had been quite literally years since Aladdin had set foot in this place. As he carefully stepped over the dusted threshold, he saw that it was all almost exactly as he remembered it. Although the windowless rooms should have been nearly pitch dark, strangely convenient cracks in the walls and loose stones illuminated necessary things. A doorway here and a stairway there, and a deadly booby trap there, which Aladdin remembered at the last moment, pulling his foot back just before stepping onto the rope that would snap around him and fling him aloft, trussed up like a rabbit. With a shuddering release of breath, Aladdin proceeded more carefully through the building to a dark back room. Counting by trusses, no, counting by threes, he found the right board to lift up and revealed an old storage cellar. Once down there, he tiptoed around what looked like the nest of scorpions and slipped behind some old broken clay amphory. I have no idea what that word is. Finally, he jumped into the black, slanting tunnel, landing on a slippery metal slide that he surfed down with ease. Receiving him at the bottom was a cave, which, while he remembered it fondly, now seemed a little too similar to the Cave of Wonders. He tried not to panic, swallowing several times and trying desperately to not notice the differences. This was smaller and not full of wonders at all, but dozens of flickering oil lamps and pairs of glittering eyes. Nice place you still have here, Aladdin drawled, trying not to let his voice crack. Love what you've done with it. Aladdin? Morgana's tiny, tightly muscled, and very familiar form resolved itself from the shadows. She was dressed differently from the last time Aladdin had seen her. A pair of black harem pants was belted tightly across her belly, so they moved with the slightest bump to her hips. She used to wear a close-fitting top that exposed her midriff and arms, but now had a loose black shirt made of the same material that tied up her mass by impre- impenetrable black curls of impenetrable black curls. Her normally artistically hooked nose was squinched like she smelled something bad, and her ample lips were pursed. The damp dimple of her cheek that used to show when she smiled was nowhere to be found. I don't remember asking you over to dinner, she said. I was in the neighborhood, so I thought I'd drop by, he quipped. What's cooking? Aladdin. Dubin came forward with a much more genuine smile. It faded after a moment, as if he only just then remembered something about his old friend. The thief looked exactly the same as he always did, if a little taller, square, thick set, with surprisingly intelligent eyes and an otherwise wide and open face. His long black hair was pulled back into a ponytail and held with gold rings. Golden rings were in his ears now, too. Uh, Come, sit down, break some bread with us. Aladdin looked at the additional set of eyes watching him from the darkness. Morgana and Dubin he had known forever. He couldn't say that about everyone else. Their little gang of thieves had grown over the years. If for some reason anything got ugly, it would be hard to escape. But he was already this far in. Absolutely, he said with a forced jollity, and yet even the fake smile slipped from his face as he approached the pile of pillows and rugs. Safe for the moment, exhaustion almost overwhelmed him. He still hadn't eaten much, and the events of the past several days had taken their toll. Morgana's expression softened. Are you all right? I'll be fine, he said, waving a hand at her. He collapsed as gracefully as he could at the low table and tried to reach for some grapes as slowly and nonchalantly as possible. We'll get you some water, Morgana decided. She made a clicking noise and raised her chin at one of the much younger thieves in the dark. Another cup for our guest. Hazan, go. A little boy leapt up quick as the shadow to fulfill her request. What's been going on with you? Dubin asked, settling down next to him. You look like you've been in combat. Oh, it's nothing. Just in trouble as usual, Aladdin said. When the boy reappeared with his drink, he sipped it slowly, as if it was no big deal. Then he threw 5 grapes into the air and caught them in his mouth, swallowing without chewing. I think a bigger question is, what has happened to Agrabah in the last few days while I have been otherwise occupied? Dubin laughed. Wouldn't we all like to know? It seems as if the creepy Grand Vizier Jafar is now creepy Sultan Jafar. I noticed that, Aladdin said, nodding. It's actually been surprisingly okay, Morgana admitted. The regime change, I mean. Not too much violence, no military uprising, and life under the new Sultan has, so far, been pretty good. No one in the city has gone hungry since he took over. Everyone in the quarter of the street rats has had full bellies, for the first time in their lives, some of them. No one has had to steal food because of all the handouts, which makes our livelihood a little unstable, Dubin said with a wry smile. Especially with Jafar's announcement about new peacekeeping patrols that will walk the city now, crime is already down. But other than us, everyone's been pretty happy, Morgana added cheerfully. Nobody cares that Jafar killed old Whitebeard in cold blood. Aladdin choked on a grape. Killed? Yes, Dubin said with a philosophical shrug. Despite the largesse, Jafar isn't exactly an angel. He called everyone in the city together in front of the public balcony and announced that he was the new sultan. And then he threw the old sultan over the railing, just like that. After he had made it rain gold, Morgana pointed out. With a familiar flick of her fingers, a small coin appeared in her hand. It glittered ominously in the lamplight. Aladdin noticed piles of more of the same coins behind her, like tiny versions of the mountains of gold treasures in the Cave of Wonders. He frowned and took the coin from her. She didn't object, unlike the old Morgana, who would have yelped and grabbed at it back. She merely watched him as he carefully held it between his thumb and forefinger, tilting it in the light to get a better look. It felt like real, pure gold, heavier than its tiny size would seem to have justified. Blank on one side, on the other side was a strange, jagged symbol he couldn't figure out. Ancient and threatening look, almost like it was a stylized lizard or a parrot. Morgana filled in, we think. A very angry one, but by the look of it. See, his beak open there and there, his claws there. You sort of have to use your imagination. Oh, I see it now. Jafar has a pet one, right? Morgana nodded. He gave the coin back to her. It didn't look much like a parrot, really. It looked evil. And they just stay? They don't disappear after a while, like the treasure of an Irif in old stories? Morgana shrugged. Nope. They stick around. It's all real. Aladdin didn't like it. He couldn't get his mind off the mountains of ancient gold buried in the desert. What about Princess Jasmine? He asked finally. Jafar is marrying her to cement his claim, I assume. And she agreed to this? She wants to marry him? Oh, yes, I'm sure she is all into that. A guy more than twice her age who killed her dad and is genuinely known to be evil, Morgana drawled. When did you become such an idiot, Aladdin? But she doesn't love him. No kidding, Kazam, Dubin said with a chuckle. They say his own mother abandoned him at birth. He's so evil. But what choice does she have exactly? Morgana demanded. She should count herself lucky that he didn't kill her outright along with her dad. It was probably some sort of bargain they made. You marry me and seal my claim to the throne, and I won't kill you. Why are you so surprised? It's the first thing you men do when you seize power. Punish all the women. I've got to stop the wedding, Aladdin vowed. Settle down, friend, Dubin said soothingly. But whether it was to Morgana or Aladdin, it's hard to say. Aladdin, it's not going to be a public ceremony you can just go to and say, I object to this wedding. It's going to be held at the Sultan's private chambers of the palace tomorrow night. Only the highest highborn are invited. That's why there was that parade today to publicly celebrate it. And by the way, just why do you have to stop the wedding? Morgana inquired sweetly. Have you suddenly taken it upon yourself to defend women's rights across the Sultanate? Or is there something you're not telling us? Aladdin thought about lying. He was good at it to other people. These used to be his closest of friends. It's a long story, was all he allowed. Aladdin disappears for a few days. Agrabah is overthrown, and suddenly he has an interest in rescuing a royal princess, Morgana mused. I'll bet it's a long story. Well, you have until tomorrow night to play the hero, Dubin said, spreading his fingers to show the food, the pillows, the other young thieves who were making themselves comfortable in preparation for hearing a good tale. You even brought your own carpet to sit on, he added, looking at the magic carpet doubtfully. What's up with that? Part of the story, Aladdin admitted. Yes, tell us the story. Let's catch up. I haven't seen Abu in ages, Morgana crooned, taking a grape and handing it to the little monkey. He accepted it from her with a politeness he didn't usually demonstrate. I don't, but Aladdin was prevented from having to say anything else by the sudden arrival of a swarm of tiny thieves sliding down the ramp, leaping into the room, rolling and scuttling to present themselves to Morgana and Dubin. Mistress, the first one said, opening up his hands, and it was a golden bangle with an emerald necklace. Well done, Denny. Excellent. Who's next? All of the thieves lined up to present something to her, even things as little as an empty leather purse or a single copper coin. I thought you said street rats didn't have to steal food for the last 3 days. Aladdin snapped accusingly at Morgana. She shrugged. Yes, I said they don't have to steal food. The parade was a perfect place to remove the valuable possessions from all the idiots hypnotized by the magical buffoonery. This was always my problem with you, Aladdin swore at his friends. Yes, I steal too, but only when I need what I can't get for myself. Why do you do it as your day job? You have a whole little organization of apprentices here who are going to grow up thinking this is an acceptable thing. If there continues to be food and gold from the palace, it will no longer be an acceptable thing, Morgana said arguably. But history has shown time again that this is generally unwise to rely on others, especially those in charge, to provide for the poor. I give this new sultan a week or two at most before he realizes he doesn't want to keep giving people handouts. At least not without getting something in return. Even when things are going great, you expect the worst out of people and think they deserve to be stolen from, Aladdin spat. My father didn't deserve to lose the use of his leg, Dubin said mildly. My sister didn't deserve to be beaten by her husband. No one deserves anything they get, Morgana said, shrugging. It is what it is. You just have to make sure that at least sometimes you're on the good side of getting for you. And evil keeps going around, Aladdin swore angrily, storming out. There's another way. You don't have to choose this life. You could be something more.
Aw. So the next chapter is called A Rescue of Sorts. I'm just going to go into it.
Okay.
Night in Agrabah. Was it quieter than usual? Were people recovering from the huge party suddenly uneasy with something they couldn't quite put their fingers on? Did they pull out the tiny, funny little gold coins and stare at them in the lamplight, thinking deeply about the turn of events in their city? Did they leave the gold coins out on their tables and not hide them in their shoes, under mattresses, inside pillows? Why bother? All of their neighbors had coins too. It wasn't just the religious and the superstitious who worried about the gold. The most educated scholars and wisest of old folk all knew that something was never created out of nothing, not without consequences. And that parade had been more than a little weird. These philosophical issues were the least of Aladdin's concerns at the moment, however. And actually, he had to admit that the city's uneasiness was a great help to him. The streets were much simpler to sneak through, with everyone lingering inside, close to doorways, staying away from the open sky. Abu sat on his shoulder, and the magic carpet glided silently behind him. It was too dark to be able to fly well without risk of hitting something. People had been trying to sneak into the palace for centuries. Some of their skulls could still be seen on the spikes around the castle walls, bleached white into shiny marble balls by years of desert sun. Aladdin was well aware of this, but he also had something those poor souls hadn't had: secret knowledge of the palace grounds. And though returning to the hidden tunnels made his heart quicken with fear, Aladdin gritted his teeth and pressed on to the stables on the far side of the palace on the edge of the desert. Excuse me. The horses and camels whickered and whinnied at his approach. He calmed them with some soothing noises of his own. Then he spotted a familiar-looking gelding. "You made it back," Aladdin whispered with joy, petting him on the neck. The horse snorted, perhaps both pleased at seeing the boy again and also wanting nothing to do with the human who had led him out into the stormy desert in the middle of the night. But for all that, he seemed fine. I hope your stable boy is all right too, Aladdin sighed. He found the drain that hid the secret entrance and carefully moved aside the cover just enough to let himself in, sliding it just as quietly back over his head once he was down. This time he was prepared for the pitch darkness with a tiny oil lamp he had filched from Morgiana on his way out. It seemed fitting somehow. The stone passages were deathly silent, but for the distant roar of lava. Aladdin still found himself treading softly. It was, however, a much easier trip made with his two friends. The magic carpet floated alongside almost like a dog while Abu stayed on his shoulder. Abu saw with relief that all the marks he had made with his knife were still there on the walls. He easily followed them back to the dungeons. A gentle tap on the right rock sent it sliding aside, and he was back where it had all begun. Abu chittered with nervousness. There were the manacles. There were the monocles that had held Aladdin. There was where Jafar had appeared from the shadows in disguise. Kind of brilliant, Aladdin admitted reluctantly, but he did wonder why Jafar had found it necessary to go through all the trouble to get him for the lamp business. Any street rat would have done it for a single golden derrick or less. Thoughts for another time. He had a princess to rescue. The door leading out was locked, of course, but Aladdin had his little kit with him. He worked with his picks in the flickering lantern light for many long minutes, sweating and swearing. When the lock finally gave, it was nearly silent. It was with a nearly silent, anticlimactic click. The passageway outside was short, murky, and dim. He goggled at what looked like an infinite number of stone steps spiraling upward into the hazy ceiling. It was as though he was at the bottom of the tower buried underground. Even the design was similar to the Moon Tower, the tallest building in the palace, Jafar's Tower. Across from the entrance to the dungeon was another door that was covered in strange carvings. The edges were highlighted with an evil orange glow and from whatever was in the room behind. Another time, Aladdin promised himself, he would explore what was very obviously Jafar's secret study when things weren't quite so dire. He snapped his fingers, and the carpet obligingly lowered to let him step onto it. They drifted upwards through the dark above the steps like a milkweed puff borne aloft by a soft breeze. At the top was a strange sliding door that was unlocked with the press of a lever. Aladdin opened in it the smallest crack and peeked through. The room beyond was dimly lit and mostly empty except for a few pieces of finely wrought furniture. There were no guards. Aladdin drew back in surprise. What sort of dungeon didn't have guards? He slid the door open just wide enough to let his body and Abu and the carpet through. When they were out, he turned around and he saw what looked like a door from the dungeon side. Wait a minute, I skipped a line. When they were out, he turned around and saw that what looked like a door from the dungeon side looked like a completely normal wall panel on the other. In fact, when the door closed itself with a quiet click, it was impossible to tell where it had been. A secret dungeon. Secret even from the Sultan himself, Aladdin wagered. Jafar's personal little evil sorceress laboratory and prison. It seemed like all the whispers about him were true. And if they were true, Aladdin realized grimly, then Morgiana was probably right and Agrabah was in worse trouble than before. There was no way someone this secretive, plotty, murderous, and evil would turn overnight into a generous and doting benefactor. Aladdin knew people. He had to as a thief, and people didn't usually change that much. The marble floor was chilly under his bare feet. Suddenly, Aladdin understood why rich people owned so many carpets. The soft click of heels on stone alerted him to the presence of others nearby. Aladdin dove behind a velvet couch. The carpet laid itself on the floor. Abu climbed up a screen on the side of the room and stayed silent and still near the ceiling. A pair of guards marched through, stiff as rods and carrying deadly-looking spears across their chests. They were clad head to toe in black and red, Jafar's colors. These were not the unruly market guards that Aladdin was used to dealing with. These were inner palace guards, very quick, intelligent eyes, nervous hands, and not an extra ounce of body fat on them. Very, very dangerous men. Excuse me. As soon as they were gone, Abu started to descend. The carpet curled up one corner in an anticipation of rising. Shh, not yet, Aladdin whispered. He counted his heartbeats and his breaths. Almost exactly 10 minutes later, the guards came through again. Exact same route, exact same wary glances, exact same march. Aladdin smiled at his own forethought. Okay, he whispered as soon as they were out of sight. The three of them tiptoed or glided onto the next room. What he found made Aladdin pause and then raise an eyebrow in wonder. The space they were in could have been a banquet hall that easily held 100 revelers. Instead, it was furnished with tables covered in things, miniature palaces, models of mazes on tilting platforms you worked tiny silver balls through, puzzles that made brightly painted jungle scenes when they were done, balancing games in which the blocks were intricately carved animals and fantastic beasts. And above all of this hung the gorgeous silk kites the Sultan flew when he deigned to leave the palace on one of his famous picnics. So these rumors were true too. The old Sultan was nothing but a crazy, decadent old man who played with toys while Agrabah starved. Or he was Jasmine's sad, lonely old father who wanted more kids or grandkids or his wife back. It was complicated. A quick, quiet tick from the corner of the room sent Aladdin flying behind a table and Abu and the carpet into other hiding places. No one appeared. The ticking continued. Aladdin lifted his head and saw that on one of the tables was a model of Agrabah, a different one, an imaginary clean one that was accurate down to the calendar clock tower that rose above the central square. That was what was making the noise. A tiny working version of the real thing. A minuscule golden half moon popped out and turned a degree on the dial. Aladdin shook his head, either at himself or at the dead Sultan and his hobbies. 10 minutes. He heard the scraping of shoes again. He gestured frantically to the room beyond the one he was in. The carpet and Abu followed close behind. As he ducked down, the crab walked quickly to what looked like a room with no discernible purpose. There was a brazier with coals smoldering in the corner and an incense burner sending smoke up the ceiling next to the low divan, but no one was on it. More footsteps from the other direction. Aladdin dove under the divan, sucking it in his breath to fit. He couldn't see the faces of these new guards from his position, but was pretty sure they were more of the same. He was pretty sure there were more of them this time. 3, maybe, or 4, walking in perfect synchronicity. Man, it's big words tonight.
Yeah.
The guards he had avoided twice before met up with them in the middle of the room. Aladdin watched their feet and heard the smart smacking of spears against each other in a military salute. Then each set of guards kept going in the direction they had been headed. Aladdin started counting again, frustrated. This was bad. He hadn't allowed extra time for waiting on guards to complete their circuits. Impatient to move, he got up, deciding to take a risk. He knew he had at least 10 minutes from one set of guards and figured they would probably be on the same clock. Wrong. Aladdin slammed himself against the closet wall as the second set of guards passed by the door, moving in an entirely different direction. Abu scampered across the cold hall to be close to him, his tiny toenails clicking against the floor. The guards stopped. Abdullah, wait, did you hear something? Aladdin closed his eyes and tried to still his heart. The silence was so complete and profound, he was certain they could hear it breathing. I heard something in the room with the incense. It was probably just a mouse or a monkey. I will not lose my head over something which turns out not to be a mouse. Aladdin winced as the concerned guard walked to the door, spear raised. All he had to do was step 4 inches farther into the room. The guard made a thorough scan of the place, turning his head slowly back and forth. Aladdin opened one eye and almost caught his breath when he saw how close to him the shiny, sharp spear tip was. The silence stretched on. It's nothing, the guard decided. As he stepped back to rejoin his companion, Aladdin practically crumbled with relief. He wasted no time scurrying out of the room and ducking under a window through which the moon shone like a spotlight. Then he stopped, caught by the view outside. Spread over what must have been at least a hectare or two was the most beautiful garden he had ever seen. There was an entire miniature forest of cedar, cypress, and other sweet-smelling pines that couldn't normally live in the hot and dry Agrabah. There were formal rows of roses and other delicately petaled flowers. There was a garden just of mountain plants. There was a pool filled with flowering white lilies and their pads, and pink lotuses taller than most men. There was a fountain as big as a house and shaped like an egg. There was a delicate white aviary that looked like a giant's bird cage. Strangely, there were no birds in it. And everywhere, entwined around every tiny building and every balustrade with every topiary ball, was jasmine. White jasmine, pink jasmine, yellow jasmine, night flowering jasmine. The smell was heady enough to make Aladdin feel a little drunk. Jasmine. This was her garden. She had to be close. Aladdin hurried on. There was definitely a feminine change to the decor as he tiptoed through the dusty twilight of the slumbering palace. More soft rugs, more shapely urns, more wall hangings, more flowers and plants. He passed through a sitting room filled with silk cushions and low tables scattered with bowls of nuts, scrolls, and even a few games. Apparently, the Sultan figured the palace was safe enough from the eyes of outsiders and didn't consider a screen with the usual huge female guards necessary. Of course, it was said that Jasmine's best friend that was a tiger, so maybe guards weren't really that necessary. Past this room was a short hall that ended in a pair of beautifully carved golden doors that flared out like butterfly wings. On either side of them stood a pair of the usual male guards in black and red Jafar style. This was a problem. Aladdin clenched his fist in frustration. Of course, he could take them out somehow, and in doing so, make noise that would summon every last man in the palace. He found himself thinking of Morgiana, the shadow, and how this was exactly the sort of situation she would have excelled in. Something must have clicked somewhere, some invisible clock or quiet chime. The two guards raised their spears and saluted each other and turned and marched out of the room. Aladdin had no idea when they would return, but the instincts of a thief told him to act immediately. He might never get a better chance. He rushed forward and pulled out his lockpick kit again. This lock was beautiful and intricately decorated, but quite basic under all that. It would take him only a minute, or the door suddenly opened inward. Surprised, Aladdin looked up into Jasmine's equally surprised face. She was pulling a pair of sharp hairpins out of the lock on her side. Hi, Aladdin said. He didn't understand, but didn't object to the sudden embrace she wrapped him in, hugging him more tightly than the widow Gulbahar did on the holidays. You're alive, she whispered with joy. Of course I'm alive, Aladdin started to object. Then he thought about the past few days of his life. Maybe it wasn't such an obvious conclusion. I came back to rescue you, which, though, now doesn't seem that necessary. Her famous pet tiger took the moment to appear and glared into the intruders with flashing yellow eyes. He seemed violent and mean, with an evil-looking wound on his head. He uttered a deep, disapproving growl. Abu hopped up and down and began to chitter on Aladdin's shoulder in hysteria. Aladdin quickly put a hand over his friend's mouth to shut him up. Really? You seem to be fine, Aladdin continued as calmly as that. It's the thought that counts, Jasmine grinned, putting the hairpins back under her tiara and a hand on Rajah's neck. Jafar told me you were executed because of me. What? Aladdin's mind raced. Huh? Things are starting to make sense, sort of. Let's talk later. We have to get out of here. We have about 9 minutes before the relief guards come back, Jasmine said, nodding. Right, Aladdin grabbed her hand and turned to go. Abu chittered in agreement. The carpet rose up. What is that? Jasmine tried to confine her shriek to a whisper. Aladdin was about to make some joke about her being a girly girl, afraid of monsters, but stopped. A girl who was locked up in her own bedroom by a madman forcing her to marry him probably didn't need to imagine monsters. She could probably be forgiven for being a little jumpy. Oh, this? Aladdin asked casually. Say hello to the magic carpet. Magic carpet, the royal Princess Jasmine. A real flying carpet, Jasmine said in awe, eyes wide. Amazing. We have a lot to talk about. Yeah, royal Princess Jasmine, we sure do. Aladdin agreed with heavy irony. She had the decency to blush a little. He started down the hall. We can do it back at Morgiana's. Who? Never mind. But first, we have to rescue the genie. No, Jasmine, we can't right now. We don't have time. He's trapped, just like me, Jasmine said desperately. Jafar is making him do all of these horrible things, making him into the Sultan, a powerful sorcerer. He doesn't want to. We just need to grab his lamp. From a powerful sorcerer who is also a Sultan, has a secret dungeon, and has already transformed the palace into his own personal palace? No way, Jasmine, not now. We can come back better prepared and with a plan, but just getting you out of here is going to be tough enough. You think he's going to let his most precious possession lie around for easy taking? Jasmine's face fell, but Aladdin put his hand on her arm and looked into her eyes. I promise, if it's that important to you, we will come back for him. But right now, there is only so much a thief, a princess, a tiger, a monkey, and a magic carpet can do. She nodded sorrowfully and took his hand. Now it's like 7 minutes, Aladdin said. I have a secret way out. We just need to get back to the room with the red panels. Jasmine nodded and scooted alongside him, keeping her quickly moving feet silent. But Jafar isn't done with everything yet, she whispered breathlessly as they went. He has a plan. He has all of Agrabah, Aladdin said in an exasperated whisper. What more could he want? Jasmine's face darkened. What do people like him ever want? More power, more adulation, more. She stopped as Aladdin drew up short. The carpet and the tiger skidded to a halt. Abu grabbed onto Aladdin's neck at the sudden cessation of movement. Excuse me. Standing in the room with the brazier, looking as surprised as they did, was Razul. Run, Aladdin suggested weakly. Guards, to me, in the room of the scintillating brazier. Sorry, that was hyphenated. That was hyphenated, yeah. and it was italicized. It was making it difficult to read. Razul roared. Room of the scintillating brazier, Aladdin muttered in disgust as they took off down the hall. The heavy stomp of feet seemed to come from every direction. If they had been outside in the streets of Agrabah, Aladdin would have known where they were safe, what roads were too crooked to be seen on, where they were easy escapes. Now he was just leading them blindly. Can we get outside? He asked Jasmine in a gasp. Up ahead, she said between breaths. There is a columnized loggia that leads to the courtyard of the rose-scented footstools. Aladdin looked at her. Just kidding, she said with a quick smile. They don't really smell. The tiger bounded ahead as if he knew the plan. The carpet stayed behind them as if it was guarding the rear. Aladdin wasn't sure what a loggia was, but ahead there was a hall dotted with columns that opened up into a large courtyard with no ceiling overhead. There were lemon trees, sweet-scented myrtle, and pots of roses. More columns, ornamental and abstract, decorated the interior of the courtyard, along with the statues depicting ancient river gods. There were indeed footstools, carved into the shape of roses. There were also about a dozen guards waiting for Aladdin and Jasmine. Halt! Aladdin fell back as the pair in front leapt at them. One meaty guard got his arms around Aladdin's waist and brought him down. Jasmine managed to leap out of the way of the other one. The tiger roared and raised his paw, ready to tear the guard's belly out. No, Raja, Jasmine cried. It's not his fault. It's Jafar's orders. Now she gets all protect the people-y. Couldn't she wait like 10 more minutes? Aladdin wondered aloud as he tried to shimmy out of the guard's grasp. When that failed, he curled himself into a ball. He aimed his toes at the man's privates. With a muscle taxing burst, he pushed out his arms and legs as hard as they would go. The guard screamed and fell to the side. Aladdin climbed over his back. Split up, he ordered, diving to the side. A blade sliced through the air above Aladdin's head. He fell into a roll. He kicked his feet out at the attacker and managed to topple the guard into another pair of guards. Scimitars flew like deadly missiles. A scream from Jasmine brought him to his feet. A guard had managed to grab her sash and was pulling her. She held onto the statue for dear life with one arm, but reached for her silver dagger with the other. Raja turned and roared. Fool, Razul yelled as he finally caught up to the fight. The Sultan will have your head if you touch the princess in such a manner. Raja leapt. Aladdin didn't get to see what happened next because a pair of guards ran straight at him, swords aimed directly for his chest. Aladdin crouched and spun like a dervish. He managed to sweep the legs out from under one of the guards, causing him to trip into the other. They both came crashing down, landing on the stone floor with a sickening crunch. "Carpet," Aladdin ordered the moment he could take a breath. "Get Jasmine." The carpet paused where it was dancing in the air. It was just out of reach of some easily distractible guards who were poking at it with the tips of their scimitars. Finished with whatever he had done to the other men, Raja was silently stalking from behind, getting ready to pounce. At Aladdin's words, the carpet immediately slalomed down in between the marble columns towards Jasmine. The guards turned to chase it, and came face to face with the tiger. Before he could turn to do anything else, Aladdin was grabbed violently from behind by a pair of familiar, professional, and very adept hands. Rasul's. "Street rat, you're in way over your head." "At least I still have one," Aladdin countered. But as much as he kicked and struggled, Rasul held him tightly. Another guard leveled his blade so the tip was just touching Aladdin's belly. Things did not look good. But he but he saw that Jasmine was free from her own pursuers. The princess threw herself at the carpet and grabbed its tassels. The carpet dipped once under her weight and then raced for the skylight with Jasmine hanging from it like a rabbit from an eagle's talons. Aladdin let go a sigh of relief. He would be fine, of course, or not. It didn't matter. At least she was safe. With a scream, Abu dropped down onto the head of the guard with a sword. That was all the time Aladdin needed to kick off the floor and fling himself up over backward, Rasul's hands still gripping his arms, and land on Rasul's back. Aladdin tried not to cry out at the pain of bending his arms in such an unnatural way. Sputtering, Rasul's grip lessened. Aladdin twisted wildly like a weasel until he found a weak spot and he was free. "Hey," a voice called from above. Aladdin looked up. Completely at odds with his awesome rescue plan, Jasmine was leaning over the edge of the roof, not running away or flying away like she was supposed to. She pointed. The magic carpet swooped back down towards Aladdin. "Are all princesses so disobedient?" he shouted with a grin and went to leap aboard. With an angry howl, Rasul threw himself at Aladdin, sword drawn. The tip of it caught Aladdin in the side and ripped through his flesh. "Oh, no." Aladdin staggered under the pain of the blow. Blood coursed down his body. Jasmine gasped. He sucked in his breath and forced himself to stay upright. The carpet was close enough to step on, but Rasul's next blow wasn't aimed at Aladdin. Despite trying to scout out of the way, the magic carpet didn't quite make it. Oh no! Rasul's sword sliced off a corner, ripping away one of its tassels. The carpet gave a terrible shudder, then drifted away lopsidedly, trying to recover. Raja growled. Aladdin cursed. "I don't want to kill you, street rat," Rasul said, his sword raised. "Sure looks like it, Rasul," Aladdin shot back. "If the princess disappears, it will mean my head, as well as those of my men." Out of the corner of his eye, Aladdin saw the carpet slowly drifting back and forth past a very interesting row of statues and columns that looked almost lined up from that angle. An idea began to take shape. "If the princess doesn't disappear, she will be forced to marry a man you know is a monster, even worse than you," Aladdin cried, ducking around him. Rasul spun faster than a man his size should have been able to and sliced his sword at Aladdin's back. Aladdin ducked and avoided it. With a leap like a frog, he put his hands on the head of the first statue and propelled himself up to the second. Without pausing, he executed a flip onto the third. I taught him that. Too late, Rasul realized his plan and ran to stop him. On the last, highest decorative column, Aladdin leapt with all of his remaining strength. The column rocked under the force of his hands. His hands came down on the roof, grasping at clay tiles that crumbled beneath his fingers. Jasmine grabbed him by the arms and helped haul him up. Below him in the courtyard, the column rocked too far and began to fall. Aladdin watched in horror as Rasul spun and looked up, confused about what was happening. "Carpet, get Rasul," Aladdin screamed. "Knock him out of the way." The carpet, slow and confused, moved to the captain of the guards. It didn't so much knock into Rasul as get tangled around his ankles. Abu managed to scurry up the column side and leapt out just before it crashed to the courtyard floor. Rasul was not so lucky. The large man turned and looked up and screamed. And then there was a terrible, terrible crunch. Aladdin turned his head, but not before he saw Rasul's one free arm lift weakly and then fall to the ground.
Ooh,
This is like brutal
it's
stuff.
wow.
So with Sultan has been confirmed dead. Now
Yeah.
Razul's dead.
Mm-hmm.
And we're only 39%.
Aladdin's injured.
Aladdin got his flesh puckered.
The
Carpet got
got
stained.
yep.
Corby,
welcome in. Corby and Bill Steffen.
There's nothing that doesn't say Aladdin's not going to die in this, or Jasmine.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely dark and twisted, Corby said. Yeah.
So I went to my local bookstore to look, and they have a bunch of these. I'm gonna get them all. And there's a second villain series as well. It's on the New York best time selling list. They had 10 or 12 of those. I'm gonna get them as well. Nice. They look really cool. So I like the covers. I like the read.
I'm liking this one so far.
This has been a very good one, yes. And there's like 12 or so in this series right now, right?
There is. And let me pull up this. I don't know if you saw this or not, Steve.
Probably not.
So this just came out on Shop Disney the other week. This is a Twisted Tale anthology. So this is a group of short stories, 576 pages, but I think it said it's like 16 short stories, all by the same authors that did the original books.
So I don't want to read that till I do the books then.
Yeah. What if Snow White learned magic? What if Mulan became the Emperor's advisor? What if Remy the Rat met Colette first? So it's just 16 different short stories.
Interesting.
With different twists. That's on Shop Disney now, $18.99.
Really?
Yep.
That's gotta be softback, right?
It is hardcover.
Is it really?
Yep. Published by Disney Press.
Interesting.
And printed in the USA.
Very interesting.
Corby says, I love Brave, but then again, I have Scottish in my background, so I'm a Brave fan myself.
I like most of them.
Debbie says this is becoming intense storyline. It is. I didn't think we were going to kill more people, but
very intense.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I mean, it is called a twisted tale. So nobody knows what to expect until we get to the first one here. And now that we're reading it, these are dark. I mean, when we pushed the Sultan, let's be honest, when Sultan got pushed over the balcony, how many of us thought he was going to live? I thought he was alive. Then we just got confirmation today that he's not.
He's not.
He gone.
Yep. And I figured all of the gold coins and everything that Jafar had made would disappear too. It's interesting that those are still sticking around.
Yep.
So
very interesting.
Yeah.
This is entertaining. I like it.
I'm enjoying it. Yeah.
We're 39% way through the book.
We are.
Yep. It says 39% that way.
Let's see. Ooh, next week we got The Birth of an Army is next.
Ooh.
That's 14 pages. And then we have Unraveling. That's only 2 pages.
Yeah, we decided I was going to read a couple, I think.
Yeah, I think so. And then The Heist.
There it is.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
These chapters do appear to be getting shorter pages.
Oh,
We actually need to sit down and go through this because there's a lot of them that are only like 4, 5, 8 pages. And
then there's one that's 16.
Yeah, then it's 277 pages will get us through the end of it, and we're on 126. So I mean, we're about, we're just a little shy of halfway because the percentage includes the epilogue and the about the author and the preview of Mirror Mirror, which is the next one. So, what did I just do? Oh no, I hit the wrong button. There it is. Birth of an Army's next, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Stacy says she's still holding out hope, but I'm pretty sure
that the Sultan's alive.
Yes, but I'm pretty sure if all the people on the ground saw him fall and land,
saw him go splat,
then
and they were cheering about it.
Good night, Kenneth H. Hope you have a good evening and a good Wednesday. Yeah. So.
Yep, it's interesting.
I hope everybody else is still enjoying this. I am.
I'm enjoying it. I mean, if not, they're still here chatting. So
it's true. Yeah, it's. I'm liking this book a lot. I'm glad.
Yep.
This one was recommended. Or this series was recommended.
And free.
Yeah, exactly. Can't beat free.
Nope. But I think it's such a good series that's why they do that. They offer the first one for free to hook you. And they're like, okay, now we got to read the rest of them. So.
Yeah. Good night, Main Street Nick. Have a good one.
Hey.
Snickerdoodle and Nicole are both enjoying it, and Robert Dixon. So
I am. Yeah,
you
got it.
I got it. I got it. Yeah. I think that's all I got for tonight, Steve. Yeah, you're on location, so we can't do puzzles.
I mean, you can do a puzzle if you want to. I'm just going to sit here and talk.
Yeah.
Or not.
Stacy said, I didn't have anything to read last night when I went to bed because I was caught up Sunday night, though I can read again. Yeah. Debbie said, I'm so glad we are doing this. I love reading, and it's so much better doing it with great friends. That's cool. Wendy says, I enjoy anything y'all do. I'm not particular. Y'all are just good dudes. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
We got the new episode of Loki that dropped today too.
Oh, nice. Probably won't watch that till tomorrow or Thursday. Tomorrow's my last day of training, Chris.
Aren't you so sad?
Yeah, I've been, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is my 6th trip in the last 2 months. And I've only got one more bass but it's a personal one. So I'm not flying anywhere. So, yes. I fly home tomorrow night. I get home like at midnight. So, or no, I mean, I land at like midnight. Then I got like an hour-long drive.
Yeah.
Stacy said Loki's not on tonight.
Oh, it's not?
I don't know. I thought you said it was Tuesday nights. She said it's Thursday.
I thought it had been dropping on Tuesday nights at 9 o'clock.
No idea.
Maybe it is Thursday. Maybe I got confused with Ahsoka. So, Debbie watched it last night and loved it. I'm enjoying it. Disney Plus dropped a new trailer for season 2 of the Santa Clauses. Nice.
Nice.
Snickerdoodle says Thursday. Okay, so it's Thursday.
Oh yeah,
They were doing Ahsoka on Tuesdays, I think. David Botko, welcome in. Hello.
It's fake me. I'm in a fake location. I'm kind of mad. I'm out of chocolate milk. I bought a thing of chocolate milk. I always buy a thing of chocolate milk when I come up here because I can't get this one anywhere else. It's Prairie Farms. It's in Indiana. It's what I used to drink all the time. Very good chocolate milk. They make regular milk too. So that was all the milk and the chocolate milk I would drink. So down south, you drink a different brand of white milk, and you drink either True Moo or Borden's. Usually, is the chocolate milks you have. So you don't really drink the same. Here, you always drink Prairie Farms was white and chocolate. So
there you go.
But I drink
a little taste of home. I
drank it all last night because we went to Buffalo Wild Wings and I had Asian Zing and they were burning my tongue for some reason. I got them extra wet, and then they were a little hot.
Wendy says, "Oh, Steve, I need to ask you about name tags for Magical Night of Hope. I want to volunteer to do that. I'll send you a note."
Okay, I've had a lot of people ask me about name tags, and we'll talk. Everybody wants to know who people are, so.
Jeannie, welcome in. Jeannie says, "Chris, did you get any more Disney Lego figs you need?" I have not, Jeannie. I haven't gotten any since the last unboxing we did.
I'm still missing 2.
I'm still missing 5, I believe. 2 Real Geeks, welcome in.
I forgot to look for
Promised Land. We get Promised Land, Wendy B. That is some good stuff. It tastes like a milkshake. It's so thick and rich. It's good.
Okay, somebody told me that was, I think that's what it was. It's in Pennsylvania as well. Is that what it's called? What's the one in Pennsylvania that everybody raves about, Stacy? I thought it was absolutely nasty.
Promised Land is what we have here. Man, it's.
I thought that's what it was. But which Dave and most people are usually on a whole different spectrum of what we believe. But he kept telling Corey and I, we got to go to Sheets. We didn't really like it at all. Then he's telling about this chocolate milk we had to have. And I don't think it was Promised Land. But he was like, you got to try it. We tried it. And both of us took one sip and we were done with it. It was not great. Now, if that's what they grew up on in Pennsylvania, then that's, then they're going to like it. We did not.
Right. Stacy hasn't answered yet what the.
I don't know if she knows what I'm talking about or not, but he was raving about this stuff. It comes from some kind of farm or something. I don't know. But I just here, let me see if I can just type it in real quick. Oops.
I only get cream cheese from Prairie Farms in Georgia.
Oh. It's Clover Farms, maybe. Is that it? It comes in a really weird jug too, and it's really fat and short. It was so weird. We didn't like it. Well, Promised Land. No, I meant it's in the name, Stacey. I'm sorry. Promised Land showed up when I typed in Pennsylvania Pop. I don't think that's it though. I think it might be this.
I was at, since we're talking about drinks and local foods and stuff, I'm going to say I was at dinner last night at a restaurant with the family. And I heard a man at the table beside us say, "I don't like Chick-fil-A. It's nasty. There's just no crunchiness to their chicken. No breading on their chicken." I was like, "What are you talking about?"
Is he getting grilled chicken?
I don't know.
Okay, it's Gallagher's. And I think it's Gallagher's.
Stacey said Clover Farms is a big one here, but I've never had their chocolate milk.
I think it's Gallagher's. I'm looking it up here because they quit selling it in the sheet stores, it says, earlier this year. But I could be wrong. I'm sure I took a picture of it or a video of it. I did take a video of it. because I'll find it.
In
Have it
Eastern
on
PA, Rosenberger's is big. It's so big you have to have different.
Molly's mom has got it going on.
Yep. Cy.
Hi,
Hey,
Cy.
Woke up and is going back to bed. So Winnie hugs Cy. Have a good night.
I saw Stacy.
Epcot debuted a new Beacons of Light tonight.
Yeah. But they also had what's her name? Avelo Criejo, whatever her name is, singing How Far I'll Go. It had the Moana, the Tafiti symbol, the Heart of Tafiti swirl. It was on the spaceship Earth. So
that's cool. That's cool. Well, I think we'll call it a night.
I had something on my forehead. It's my mouse. It's the arrow from. I was like, "What is it on me?" Sorry. Go ahead.
That's funny. Cy says it's 3:48 a.m. there. Yeah.
Mm.
Thanks for popping in, but have a good night.
I forgot that was. Oh, I'm sorry. Glad you said something. I thought that came out today. Dang it.
What's that?
Dining packages.
Yes, that did come out today.
Dang it. I was supposed to get those today.
This morning. Julie McCowan, welcome in.
I would guess that they're not available for me now, but we're going to try it anyways.
I know somebody that got two.
Check availability. Somebody just put it in the thing that they did. Okay. So, I got to put my stuff here. Now I'm excited to see whether I get it or not. I know it's not going to happen, but I want it anyways.
Space Mountain Dave, welcome in.
What was the date? Dang it.
The dates were
here it is. I got it. So it is December. Oh yeah, I know what it is. It's I'm almost certain. I'm pretty sure this is it.
So
can't get it. Unbelievable. I'll have to keep trying.
Can I say what you got, Snickerdoodle? Do I have permission?
Did she get Neil Patrick Harris?
She.
I want. Oh, there's none available for anybody. They're all gone. This
They're
is
all
stupid.
gone.
Yeah, I'm trying to get them. Oh wait. I just got one. For where?
He said yes. So Snickerdoodle got both John Stamos and Neil Patrick Harris.
I just see those are the two I wanted. I just got. I fudged a few things, but I just got Garden Grill. I'm gonna have to edit it later for Stamos, but I need to get Neil Patrick Harris. No, I want.
It was Dale. Yeah, Stacy. I haven't found it yet.
Oh, that's right.
Stephanie Kill, hello, welcome in. I see you, Steph. What's up, cuz?
Okay. So I was able to get one. Dang it. That's so dumb. It's not even at the time I want to do it at. Okay. I got it for the right time I wanted to watch him though. Got it for the 8:30 show, so that's good.
That's good.
Anybody's got extra reservations for NPH on that Thursday the 7th? I need 2 of them. Is it the 7th? Yeah, the 7th.
I look forward to trying to book one of those next year.
There's no 10. There's none of 8. There's none of 6. He went fast.
Mm-hmm.
Stupid training.
Yep.
I'll keep looking. They'll eventually they pop up, but it's just usually not what I want.
Snickerdoodle said, yeah, they went quick this morning. I know. I talked to Pete this afternoon. He was trying to get them too, and he's like, they were gone.
Yeah, they're done. Oh, well, I'll go stand in line like I always do for Corey.
Yep. Well, I guess we'll end on a little bit of that drama.
But on Monday, the whatever day that is, the 6-5 on Monday the 4th, I'll be streaming the John Stamos. So
there's a thumbnail you can go ahead and make.
I can do it now.
Let's see. You had to be on at 6 a.m., Angela said. Yeah.
I will not be on this and that tomorrow night, guys. Neither will Shep. It'll be just Dave, maybe a celebrity guest or 2 or 3.
Or 3.
Maybe 3.
So, yeah, be sure to check out tomorrow at T. Marie's place. Tina will be on at 5, I guess. And Joey S. will be on tomorrow night at 7 or 8 at 8 o'clock. And this and that tomorrow night, 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I did just get, though, I got the dining package for Stamos at Garden Grill. It's the only thing that was open, and I've never eaten there for dinner.
I've never been to Garden. I was telling Snickerdoodle, I've never been to Garden Grill. So.
I've had reservations more than a dozen times, and we've always canceled them.
Really?
Or changed them or something, but.
That'll be a fun one to see.
Yeah.
I hear it's really good. Good food anyway.
We'll see. People like it. It's also got Chippendale, and is it Chippendale, Mickey, and Goofy?
Goofy, I think. Yeah. Donna dinner. Okay. Yeah, we need to plan stuff, Chris. We do, Angela. Stacy says it can't be worse than someone grabbing your straw. Pluto, they say Pluto.
Oh my gosh, that was so bad. Where's
They're saying it's Pluto, Chippendale, and Pluto and Mickey.
Pluto. Okay, it's not whatever his name is.
Goofy.
Let's see here. Oh yeah, I want to see this one too. 21st, 22nd, 23rd. Oh man, he's gone. That means Stephen Curtis Chapman would be on the 24th.
He is, yeah. 24th, 25th, and 26th.
I believe. No, the 25th is a Monday. Christmas Day is a Monday.
Yeah.
I might go do. And why is the dining availability not that during the? You can't buy dining package past this. Oh, it's out more than 90 days.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so Joey McIntyre will be there on the 18th, which is the week before, and I could get him, but I can't. I can only go through Sunday for another hour and 4 minutes, then I can get it. Brendan Fraser is the 12th through the 14th, so he's not on a Monday. Who's on the 11th? Marley Matlin. I have no idea who that is.
She's Marley Matlin is the she's deaf. She's sign languages.
Oh.
She was on a couple of law shows, legal shows.
I could do Louis Fonzi, who is Despacito. Get him in there. So it looks like I would probably, because I want to do Jordan Fisher. I can't. You can't even buy this yet. He's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm going to try to get him when it's available. But I might do Stephen Curtis Chapman on Christmas. if I'm around, if I'm here.
Stacy asked if anyone's watched Once Upon a Studios. Yeah.
I added it to my list on the way up here, but it didn't get downloaded in time.
I've heard a lot of people say they ugly cried during it.
Wow. I watched there's another one on there. Is it All Started by a Mouse? Or I just watched The Story of a Mouse is what I think it's called. Yeah. And it was Eric Goldberg is in that a lot, the narrating, and they talk about the whole of iWorks creation, and it's worth a watch for sure.
Yeah. Well, anything else?
What else can I find out I can't get into?
Stupid Michigan trip. Yep.
Oh, well, I should have been on it at 6 o'clock this morning, not gone to the conference.
Well,
I shall keep trying for the next 2 months.
There you go.
Anybody sees it pop up, let me know.
It's only 8 minutes long, Stacy said.
That's all it is?
Yep.
Oh.
Is Neil there on the 10th? I can get a reservation for 2 on the 10th. No, Neil.
I don't think he is.
Marley Matlin's on the 10th.
Yeah.
Neil Patrick Harris is the 6th through the 8th.
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser's one I'd like to see.
I know, but yeah, he's not on a Friday, so I'm guessing I should have no problem. Again, I'll just go stand in line for the 8 o'clock show. We'll get in, but I just, I wanted the dining package guaranteed nice seating and all that. So, but now the way they do things, who knows? They sell too many of them, so they're gonna have half the stadium blocked off. Who knows where you'll be?
Yep.
So.
Well,
yes.
Hope everybody has a good night and a good Wednesday. And we may be back tomorrow night after DNT. We'll see. And then
I will not be. Well, not initially. Man, my hair's a mess.
And maybe here Thursday night after I get off work.
Wendy, I'll let you know. I may not stream from Epcot on the 10th, but I'll let you know for sure. And I appreciate that.
12 minutes. 12 minutes.
What's 12 minutes?
Okay.
Well, it's still not as long as I thought it was. So.
Hanging with Mark's mom. Welcome in, Mom. Yeah.
Hello and goodbye.
Yeah, we finished our book reading, and
thank you. More people died. More main characters died.
That's been another surprising twist to this book. So.
It is a twisted tale.
Yep. Jennifer Crusoe, hello, welcome in,
Jennifer Crusoe.
And hello and good night. Hope you all have a good evening and a good Wednesday. Take care, and we will see you back real soon.
See you real soon.
Love you all. Have a good night, y'all. See ya. Bye. Toodles.